So glad you're here. So Wes and I are traveling in a few days, and there's kind of two buckets that are of the most concern, like keep you up at night concern. One of them is staying connected to the internet and to people back home, and the other one is how to pay for things when you were there. So I've heard that for starting with payment, card is the way to go. People use card for everything. Cash is not. It's like to the point that it's not even always like accepted. Like they only have the capacity to take card. So that's interesting. That's really good to know. So we decided we were going to go with a Wise card. So it's really interesting the way that it works. So this is my understanding and my experience with it so far because I haven't actually used it in real life. So you add the money to your account in your currency. So we have a Canadian account. And then once the money is sitting in your account, you can then send it out and have it converted to different payment methods, different payment currencies that are held within the same card. So I send Canadian money to my Wise account, and then I converted my Canadian money to UK pounds. So now I can tap with my card or insert or whatever it may be, and I can pay in the currency of the place that I'm at because I've already made that conversion. So there's it was 31 cents or something very strange to transfer it from my bank account to the Wise account. Pretty negligible cost. And then they have the exchange rate that always stays updated in the app for when you're exchanging it from your currency to any currency you want. So there is a maximum of number of currencies you can have on your card, but it's like a massive number. So this year, I know with our traveling, I need UK pounds, I need euros, and I need American dollars because we are at the end of our cruise in November. We're flying into Miami. So I just want to have that just in case I need it, then to get me to the airport and flying home. So that is one way that I'm dealing with that. So it has the tap, it has the insert, it's the currency. So we're not going to have to worry too much about having enough cash. And then it'll be for the metro, the tube, the public transportation systems are tap on, tap off with your card. So unlike in Toronto where you need to have the additional Presto card that is a total mess that you also have to pay for, that I have some strong feelings about, this one you just have a card in it. As long as you keep using the same card, it keeps tracking it and you get your maximum for the day. And it's like a really cool system if it all works the way that I'm understanding that it works and my card works. Okay, part 2, staying connected. So Wesley and I, last year for the transatlantic cruise, the first one, we bought a travel phone. So this phone, it's a Google Pixel 4a, and it is eSIM compatible because the one that I film on, the nicest phone I have ever owned, is not eSIM compatible because this is kind of coming out as new technology, newly implementing the technology. I don't know how long the technology has existed, but the implementation of the technology is what's really truly new, which is very cool. It's been very cool to follow that along. So it would cost $16 a day to like roam like home or whatever slogan my provider is currently using. $16 a day to a maximum of $320. That is wild. So like already actually on our first trip, we had already kind of cleared the costs of getting the phone and the eSIM versus just roaming on our other plan, like our current data plans. So that was a great choice that we've made. And it'll start to change. Like you won't, my sister, she has a newer version of the same phone and her phone is already eSIM compatible. So you just download the app. We use Airlo. So they were kind of the only people in the industry when I was first looking into this, even this last year. And now it's kind of popping up everywhere, but they seem to still have the best plan for what I'm looking for. There was Olafly, which was very interesting because they had an unlimited data plan for a set number of days, but it was just like so expensive for the amount of data that I actually think we're using. So for our purposes, I still went with the Airlo. But what's also really interesting, kind of a next step on that even, is that eSIMs were just for data. But Airlo is kind of changing that from what I've seen, and they're offering for certain countries, you can have a limited number of text messages and phone calls, like in a true like 2001 phone plan like we experienced in 2001. So that is so cool, and it's been very cool to really watch the progression of both kind of these categories for me, for the way that we are staying connected through data and communication, the eSIMs becoming implemented and so widely used. It's just so efficient. So, and it takes a little bit of patience, honestly, from what we've experienced once you land and connect to the network to actually get on. But the steps through Airflow have never, Airlo have never led me astray. I have always connected. So we've been a few different places in the States a little while last year. So Seattle and Vegas and Miami. And then we've also used a different eSIM because they are either country or regional. So we use the country for the US, and then for the regional, we used Europe. So it had us in Spain and Portugal. So perfect. It was perfect. You can't use it in Canada, just like the Wise card can't be used in Canada. To activate it, assuming I've done this all correctly, you just insert it into a bank ATM or something, and it just like tells the card that it's activated. Whereas in some other countries, the rules are a little bit different, and you actually make a transaction or a purchase. So anyway, those are the two big categories that I've kind of been having on my mind, and I feel confident that I've found the resolutions, but you will follow us in real time to see if all of this stuff works the way that I think it's going to work. So my planning and research and implementation has worked and been correct. And now it's just going to be the other side of, okay, now let's live all of this pre-thought that I've done. So cross your fingers for me. And if it works, I've got some really cool alternatives for you to use. So you will see us from England probably next time we are here joining you. So thank you so much, and we will see you next week.